This is Maka Maka. I'm about to show you guys a track. It's a collaboration between myself and Emoticon. It's called Melt Away, featuring Gabriel Garcia from Black Tide. Here we go. We could talk all day about each little parameter. I use FM8 a lot. FM8 is my new favorite synthesizer. It does it all. I threw a little bit of kind of like a jazzy influence of a sound on here at the beginning, and it's just lots of layers. But I'll just run that drop back real quick. Yeah, I think it's like a total of 6 or 8 different instruments layered on top of each other, like panned separately and whatnot. So after Emoticon decided that he wanted me to make the dubstep drop, he had already made some of the pad synths. He wrote the whole like chord structure, and he made the arpeggiated synth as well, which is super cool. And it was just kind of like a little skeleton of a song to be. And he sent me all the stems, and I made it into what it is now with all the automations and the changes over time and whatnot. And then all the dubstep stuff is what was produced right here. And as far as the vocals were already kind of preliminarily recorded beforehand, as just kind of like a placeholder. And as soon as we finish the full structure of the track, we'll get back in the studio with Gabriel and finish all the recording for that. FM8, as far as sound design, I've gotten to the point to where it's almost all I use, because any other synthesizer can do what FM8 does, but FM8 does even more. So if I want to make like a bird chirpy noise, I can use FM8. If I want to make the sound of a semi-truck driving by, I can use FM8. As far as like processing and whatnot, I use everything that Ableton comes with. Mastering isn't as big of a monster as everyone likes to think it is. It's one thing like knowing what it takes to master something, and one thing being able to actually hear what you're doing. my mastering chain is usually pretty simple. I don't think I have one here. But I'll start with an EQ. You always want to kind of shelve off the lows a little bit, and because they usually overpower the mix. A lot of mixers will mix bass too loud just because they can't hear it in their home speakers. It'll cause a lot of problems when they go to play it in the club. And then a little bit of roll off on the highs as well, and then I use the spectrum analyzer a lot more than my ear because my room isn't so well treated yet. And I'll just look for over resonant harsh frequencies and remove them if need be. After that, it's multi-band compression, and then single band compression, limiting, and then I slap this utility plugin from Ableton on there, which allows me to increase the bandwidth a little bit and raise volume where I need to, and I'm pretty much done after that. The compression, the secret to the compression is getting a smooth, unnoticeable compression. After the limiter, the whole thing with all this squashing, you start to killing the dynamic range is okay, that's fine. But what really is bad is when you kill the stereo image. After limiting and compressing and all that, everything's gonna sound like it's dead center. And the way to fix that is slap another EQ on there, turn it into a mid-side, and this is what you want to do with the mid-side. You're talking about the middle information and then the stereo information, right? So what you want to do is remove all the low frequencies from the stereo information, and that way your bass, your low frequencies is all nice and center. The human ear can't process stereo information of anything below 100 hertz anyway, so that's just extra information that you want to cut out. If you're not satisfied with the song, don't put it out. It might be a good song and it might be releasable, but that doesn't mean it's the best that you can do, and it doesn't mean that it's finished. And to me, just don't put anything out until it's finished. Shout out to my crews up in the Midwest. We got Digital Takeover in Owensboro. We got the Anti-Click movement up in Louisville. You're listening to Maka Maka Music at makamakamusic.com. And this is Hog Blog.